last part of your binomial, okay, where n is unknown. Okay, so basically, okay, all these are the three important forms, okay, for your binomial that you all need to know. Okay, all these okay, originates from this formula over here. Okay, which is what you all have in the very first page. So from this thing here, for example, if I put n choose 1, okay, how did I get n? Okay, first things first, you all need to know what factorial means. Okay, if I give you 5 factorial, it's basically when you take 5, multiply by 4, multiply by 3, multiply by 2, all the way until you end up with 1. So if I give you n factorial, okay, it means you have n times, okay, times the next number, we subtract minus 1, multiply by subtract minus 2, all the way until you end up with 1 as well. Okay, so from n choose 1, how do I get this form, or how do I simplify to get n? Okay, n choose 1 will equals to, okay, based on this formula here, I will have n factorial over r factorial. In this case, my r is 1, so I'll just put 1, multiply by n minus 1 factorial. Okay, if I were to expand n factorial, basically is what I have above, right? Okay, n minus 1 all the way to 1. But if I have n minus 1 factorial here, okay, essentially I start from n minus 1 all the way to 1. So essentially, if I were to write it out for you, okay, I have n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 all the way to 1 over n minus 1 times n minus 2. Again, same thing all the way to 1. So you realize throughout the top and the bottom, okay, all your terms can cancel out. Okay, because it's times. That's why I'm only left with n. Okay, and then you do the same thing to obtain n choose 2 and n choose 3. Okay, so this is the concept behind it. Okay, but if you can memorize these forms, okay, it will be better. Okay, but of course, if you cannot remember in the exam, just work it out. Okay, it's not hard. Okay, so the above three you must know. Okay, n choose 1, n choose 2, n choose 3. Okay, below is basically what I explained to you all. Okay, what is n minus 8 factorial, which means I start from n minus 8 and then I keep subtracting 1 until I get 1 in the back. Okay, so if I have n choose 8, this is what I have. Okay, where r is 8. Okay, then again, this one is a simplification. Okay, n minus 8, I start from n minus 8 factorial, I start from n minus 8, right? All the way to 1. But for n minus 10, I start from n minus 10 all the way to 1. So again, all the common terms can cancel out on top and below. It's basically starting from n minus 10 onwards, which leaves me with the numerator of n minus 8 times n minus 9. Okay, so this is a skill that you all need to know how to use. Okay, so let's apply into the question below. So now they give you here, you have an unknown n. Okay, where in these expansions, the coefficients of x squared and x cubed are in the ratio of 3:4. Meaning to say, if I write it out in terms of fraction is just another form of ratio. Okay, so x squared over x cubed will equals to 3/4. And then when you cross multiply, essentially 4 times of x squared, or the coefficient of x squared, will give me 3 times of the coefficient of x cubed. Okay, this is what I derived from this expression here. Okay, so first things first, since I know I need to compare my x squared and x cubed term, and then the x here is the power 1 term for the b, you need to expand out up to the x cubed term. Okay, so let's do the expansion. Okay, when I do the expansion, this is what you all have. Okay, so first one is always just a to the power of n. In this case, my a is 3, so 3 to the power of n. A plus n choose 1. Okay, 3 to the power of n minus 1. Okay, because the first term from the highest power, subtract 1 all the way. Then my 2x is power 1. Okay, this is my power 1 term. I need to get up to cubic term, so which means I expand up to a 4th term minimally. Okay, so plus n choose 2, 3 to the power of n minus 2, 2x squared. Plus, okay, another one, which is your cubic term. Okay, then you can stop here because you only need up to your cubic term. Right? Okay. Next, the two terms that I'm focusing on will be my 3rd and my 4th term, which is my x squared and my x cubed term. Okay, so since I'm focusing on the coefficients, okay, let's add this additional step. Coefficient of x squared here will equals to the n choose 2, the 3 to the power n minus 2, as well as the 2 squared here. Okay, so that's what I'll write. N choose 2, 3 to the power n minus 2, as well as, okay, 2 squared, just put 4 here, nothing wrong. Okay, again, same thing. If you find it easier, write it outside again. Coefficient of x cubed. Your n choose 3, 3 to the power n minus 3, as well as 2 cubed, okay, which is 8. So I'll put 8. Okay, now is where I apply the ratio given to me, because I can equate it like that, where 4 times of the coefficient of x squared will equals to 3 times of the coefficient of x cubed. Okay, so now I'm going to add in the 4 and the 3. So 4 times n choose 2 times 3n to the power minus 2. Okay, we have 4 here. Okay, so 4 times 4, let's simplify it. Write it as 16. Okay, in front. Okay, equals to, okay, 3 times of my x cubed. So 3 times 8, 24. Again, I'll put it as 24. Okay, this is what we have now. So from here, you need to solve for n. Alright? Okay, where n is the only unknown. So what you have to do now is to break up the n choose 2 here and n choose 3 here. Okay, using the forms above. Okay, so I'm going to replace them. N choose 2 will be n times n minus 1 over 2. Okay, bracket 3n minus 2, bracket 16. Equals to, again, let's break this up. This will be n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 over 6. Okay, with the 3, the power n minus 3, and then I have a 24 here as well. Okay, there are a few things that you can do here. Okay, first things first, on both sides, I have these two common terms. Okay, that's why there's the cancel out here. Okay, that's the first step. Okay, so on both sides, I'm going to cancel this out. That means I'm dividing it on both sides. So I'll cancel out, cancel out. Okay, within my numerator or my fraction itself, okay, I have a divide by 2, I have a times 16 here. Okay, so I'm going to cancel them out. Okay, so I end up with this simplified form here. Okay, as well over here, I got 24 and a 6. Okay, let's cancel them out. Okay, I will have a 4 here. Times n minus 2 to the power of 3 n minus 3. Okay, now over here, what you have is, I have n minus 2 here. I also have powers of 3 to work with. So, what you all need to see is both of these are of the same base of 3. So, put a star for this step here. Okay, I need to bring all the power 3 terms together so that I can combine the powers. Okay, so I'm going to divide this over, okay, as well as the 8 over here. So over here, what I'll end up with is 3n to the power minus 2 over 3 to the power n minus 3 equals to, I bring the 8 over, I'll have 4 over 8, which is essentially half. Okay, so let's write it as n minus 2 over 2. Okay, when I combine my powers, or when I apply my laws of indices, divide is minus. Okay, so over here I end up with n minus 2 minus n plus 3, because minus minus is plus. Okay, equals to n minus 2 over 2. You realize the power n here actually cancels out. I'm only left with 3. Okay, so now you solve for the n here. So basically just multiply the 2 over, and then you bring a negative 2 over. And that's how you solve for your n term. Okay, then make sure at the end of the day when you find n, it must always be a whole number. And it must be a positive whole number. Okay, if you get any other things that don't fulfill these two criteria, means somewhere along the way you went wrong. Okay, so check back at your work. Okay, this is for the very first part. Okay, so let's take a look at this next part, or the last part that you have in your notes. Okay, this is the advanced portion of the question itself. So, okay, for this question, what we're highlighting, or what we're pointing out, is this portion over here, where you need to identify the coefficient of x is 0. Okay, because there is no x term here, if you realize. So this is the part that you all need to pay attention to. Okay, so first part of the question, nothing much. Okay, write down the first 3 terms in the expansion of this. Okay, so just do the normal expansion that we always have done. Okay, just that now it's n choose 1 and n choose 2. Okay, because I only want the first 3. Okay, so this one I won't dive too much into the details. Okay, but what I want to highlight to you all is, okay, if you realize 4 and 16, okay, all the powers that you have over here, this 2 to the power n minus 2. Okay, and then you have 2 to the power n minus 1 as well. And then when you realize, when you do the expansion, and then you simplify all the terms here, 4 is 2 squared. Okay, 2 times 16 I combine it as 32. 32 is also 2 to the power 5, where they all have the same base of 2. That is why this can be further simplified into this form here and this form here. Okay, this is what you all need to take note for this portion, because this one is a bit special, where the number that I'm dividing by can be put in the same power, or the same base. Okay, as my power n minus. Okay, then the next part here, they tell you the first 2 terms in the expansion of this, okay, or these 2 brackets will give you these 2 terms here. Again, the key thing to highlight is what? I have a 0x, which means my coefficient of x is 0. Okay, so as per what is written out for you all in the notes here, okay, this first part here, okay, which is highlighted, okay, is to re-emphasize that there's a 0x here. Okay, then subsequently you are going to replace this form here. Okay, maybe I do it in another color. Okay, this form over here, okay, with the expanded form that we have above. Okay, so now, okay, to find my value of n, because I know I got 0x, I'm going to compare my terms with that contain x. Okay, so the terms that will give me x when I multiply, it will be 1 times this, as well as x times 2 to the power of n. Right, okay, then from there, okay, this is how I get this expression here. Okay, cancel out the x throughout because I just want to compare the coefficient, so throughout I cancel out the x. and then we try to do the solving. Alright? So again, what's the key concept? You bring the power terms together. Okay, so over here, okay, when I bring this term to, I bring this minus n bracket 2n minus 3 to one side first. On both sides, okay, I can immediately cancel out the 2 to the power of n. So I'll be left with 1. Okay, think about 2n divided by 2n is not 0. Okay, anything divided by itself is 1. Okay, please remember that. It is not equals to 0. Okay, I'll get 1 equals to n over 8 because 2 cubed is 8. Okay, then from there just solve n is 8, that's all. Okay, so basically for this one I just need to identify that, okay, there is a 0x there where I can compare to solve for my n. Okay, then you have the very last part where you say hence find the value of a and b. Okay, again, just compare your terms. So immediately when I compare my constant, okay, over here, the only way I can get a constant is when I take 1 multiplied by the other constant, which is 1 to the power of 2 times 2n. Okay, so basically 2 to the power of n equals to 8. Alright? So from here you have 2 to the power of n equals to 8. Okay, and then a will equals to 2 to the power of 8. Since earlier I've identified my n as 8. Okay, that's why I can equate a to be 256. That's all. Okay, then do the same thing for the x squared term. Okay, and then you do the comparison, you should be able to solve for the question. That's all. Okay.